No one is illegal on stolen land.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. Either give the land back or shut up. If we're going to do acknowledgments, shouldn't we acknowledge that that was kind of... Did you know that well before 1619, Indians practiced slavery here in America? And the Apache, Iroquois, and Sioux all tried to wipe out their fellow tribes. I know it's comforting to think that there was this ethereal time and place before white guys in suits, when everyone was a gentle, nature-loving child poet who split their time between riding deer and drinking dew. But it's just not true.
Let me begin with a fiery question. How many people are brave enough to yell, "No one is illegal on stolen land," but not brave enough to hand over their Wi-Fi password, let alone their property deed? Because that is essentially the current vibe of celebrity activism. We're all supposed to clap like trained seals, with big moral mic drop lines and no follow-through. This topic is the gift that keeps on giving. So if you like hot takes with receipts and a little comedic violence, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next one. So, here's what happened. When Billie Eilish drops this stolen landline, the room is primed to cheer at anything that sounds like virtue and poetry had a baby, and everyone is dressed as a futuristic vampire. And it's true that the line sounds strong. It exudes the ideal energy of an Instagram story, the kind of sentence that could be added to a black and white selfie and see flame emoji, and so true bestie comments flood in. However, when Bill Maher hears it, he does as he always does. He begins to pop balloons as he grabs a needle. And his point, whether you like him or not, is painfully clear. The moral position is not an applause line. If you truly believe that the land was stolen, the moral posture is an action. Give it back like a cool thing. If you think you're living on stolen land and you're saying it with your chest, then don't just say it on a stage with a $70,000 outfit and a glam team. Do it in real life. Pack the boxes, hand over the keys, and sign the papers. Otherwise, it is a performance rather than a belief. Yes, I can hear the keyboards clicking, but it's just a sign. It makes people aware. It starts a conversation. Okay, good. But awareness without integrity is just marketing. And conversation without consistency is just noise. Your morals must leave your mouth and enter your calendar at some point. Because if your worldview conveniently stops the moment it gets uncomfortable, then what you have isn't a worldview. It's a plan for a brand. Because of this, the hypocrisy is so damaging. Because the same people who say that borders are bad and that property theft is bad have suddenly started like fences, gates, and private property a lot. When the logic is actually tested, the crowd that says no human is illegal changes into the crowd that says, please leave my driveway immediately, in about 0.2 seconds. It's like watching someone preach veganism while eating a cheeseburger. However, the cheeseburger comes with a panic room and costs $3 million.
Here we go. Oh, nice little place. Bins are out. It's bin collection day. First of all, isn't that ironic? Massive gates keeping people out. I thought Billy didn't believe in borders.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Let us in, please, Billy. We are here because this is stolen land, Billy, and we think we should be given access to your quite lovely $3 million man.
Additionally, acknowledging history is acceptable before it is twisted into something it is not. Learning history is good. It's good to care about indigenous communities. It's good to try to make injustices right. No rational person would say, let's never talk about it. The problem is the ritualized performance of morality that demands absolutely nothing from the performer. It is a political equivalent of businesses that change their logo once a year and immediately resume operations. It's cosplay, not justice, as usual. Land acknowledgements are the peak example of this. You've witnessed them. At this point, you practically have the mouth along with the script. Today, we meet on the ancestral lands of, followed by a list of tribes. And then everyone nods solemnly like they just did something brave. And as I sit there, I wonder, okay, then what?
And finally, new rule, memo to Democrats. If you ever want to win an election again, the absolute most important first step is stop doing this.
We gather in celebration of the Oscars on the ancestral lands of the Tongva, Tataviam, and Chumash peoples, the traditional caretakers of this water and land.
Yeah, I don't know if we're still saying cringe. Is that? But if we are, that's this. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Either give the land back or shut up. Look, I understand the desire to right the wrongs of the past, especially when you get to take the moral high ground and then build an 8,000 square foot mansion on it.
Because if the acknowledgement concludes the microphone, it is comparable to offering condolences and prayers following a tragedy. It's a gesture that feels meaningful without being meaningful. Here's where it gets interesting, though. Maher isn't just dunking celebrities, either. He is dipping into every cultural custom. This preoccupation with appearing morally pure, while remaining unchanged, we have created a society in which applause, not consistency, is the highest achievement. And once applause becomes a reward, people start chasing the applause instead of the truth. That's how you end up with lines that are perfectly crafted and meant to get cheers, but collapse when you put any pressure on them. The word pressure is important because your moral claim isn't really a moral claim if it only holds up when no one questions it. It's a feeling. And until you try to run a country with them, vibes are fun.
I'm sure Julianne Hough is sincere about her love for the Chumash people, but I doubt she drives to work in a canoe, scavenges for acorns, or lives in a dome house made of reeds and dried mud. That's Woody Harrelson.